This mission, log out after the bell, you should know by now, you don't just wait till after the bell. You wait until I say, thanks everyone, see you tomorrow. This is part of our deal for the no homework, no tests. You start before the bell. You give me that little bit extra, not packing up, not logging out, not closing applications, not doing anything other than staying engaged with the work until I thank you and say, I'll see you tomorrow. And you may think it's silly, but it's part of establishing a work ethic that hopefully will carry over into when you have a real life job and you show up a little early and you stay a little late and your boss smiles after you leave and say, that's my type of worker. I want to keep that person. You know, you're more likely to get a raise. You're more likely to get a good recommendation when you want to move on. Little things like that impress people in the real world because the real world's full of corner cutters. So, why does the objective say make players aware of the consequence of not logging out? Because I have stressed the other aspect of this about logging out after the bell. I've stressed that over and over, and I will continue to do so. However, players, especially once you learn the keyboard shortcut, Shift, Option, Command, Q, the adding the option to that keyboard combination bypasses the dialog box and automatically logs you out. It's a great shortcut. However, if you have unsaved work, if you have a dialog box open, if you're doing something that requires you to respond, your computer, although it looks like it's logging out, will stop and say, hey, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do about this? So what happens when someone walks away from their computer thinking it's logging out, but it's stopped by something that individual didn't complete? Well, a couple things happen. Number one, the next student who walks in says, hey, somebody's already logged in and I wanted to get to work before the bell, but now I got to log them out. Yeah, it's inconvenient. However, the worst thing that happens is they're in your account. They can look at your browser history. They can mess with your settings. They can have your files. Of course, in the Mac Lab, anyone who messes with someone else's files answers to me. And I'm going to send you straight to the VP, and I'm going to recommend you get kicked out of the classroom because we never mess with other people. We do the right thing. Scotchko, someone's still logged in. Thank you for telling me. One of the consequences, I am going to change your desktop picture into something like an ingrown toenail or snot flying out of somebody's nose. So when you log in, you're presented with that. And yeah, I'll close all your windows and all your browsers so you see your new desktop picture. And the idea is I want to make an impression on you. Never, ever walk away from a computer that you're logged into without making sure you're logged out. Because today it's an inconvenience and maybe a little embarrassment. Tomorrow it may be private information that now other people have. I want you to learn how to behave responsibly with the computer. Part of that behavior is waiting for me to say, thanks everyone, see you tomorrow. But the other part is logging out and being aware that things don't just automatically happen if you've accidentally set up a roadblock. You'll learn more about this as we move on and start working with Illustrator and Photoshop when you have files to save. But it can happen with something as simple as a dialog box you've got open. And if you got multiple tabs open up here, it can be behind one of those tabs and you would never know. Unless you paid attention to the logout sequence.